Before David Martinez fell, two siblings burned through Night City, leaving chrome and chaos in their wake. Let's go, Chooms. I'm Zan, konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope everyone in Night City and around the world are doing well today as we talk about something really awesome. And let's actually get to it because I'm really excited to talk about this, legacy series that has done something very different. But let's get to it because if you remember from the last episode, I spun that one that only the Wheel of Manga and dictated to be reviewing a manga that is set in the awesome franchise world that was created by Mike Pondsmith over 30 years ago. We're talking about Cyberpunk. And this is a manga which is a prequel to the Netflix series created by Studio Trigger, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and also a prequel to Cyberpunk 2020 and a sequel to the Cyberpunk Red RPG. But let's get to it because you're here to listen about the manga, right? Let's actually get to it, Chooms. And what are we talking about? We are talking about Cyberpunk Edgerunner Madness. And this is a prequel set about a year before Edgerunners. And this is focusing on two of the most popular characters in that series. We're talking about Rebecca and Pilar, the siblings who are both out of their mind and completely sociopathic. But let's get into what this is about because this is setting up how they got to the point they were at when Edgerunners introduces them and pretty much opens up in a way which any cyberpunk story should end up with the middle of a gunfight in the middle of a diner. And apparently, this is between the animals and some other individuals. And who's there cursing each other out and fighting? Yep, we're talking about Rebecca and Pilar. And this sets up their narrative and their story because, see, turns out a couple years ago, they moved into Night City with their Edge Runner dad, who was amazing and great and respected by everybody, including the fixer Wakako. And he's like, "You're gonna follow me. You're gonna be great and amazing, right?" And son, what do you want to do? He's like, "I want to be an edge runner." And then daughter, what do you want to do? Well, I want to take care of puppies and take care of them. And their dad's like, "Yeah, you're out of your mind. You ain't doing that in Night City because Night City is a horrible shithole." What do you mean by shithole? Well, there's violence, corruption, there's corporate takeovers, there's definitely corrupt cops. There's evil corpos, and either you're gonna die in the streets as a chump or in a gonk, or you're gonna be preem and be an edge runner and probably die while doing something awesome. And it gives them the option to do that. And so now their goal is to become edge runners. And after a couple of years, pretty much what's going to happen is they're going to try to be free is they're living in their car. They're not doing that great, but they're going to do well. And also, they have an in with Fixer Wakako because she was a friend of their dad's and she's going to give them a job and it's going to be great, right? That's what they're going to do. They're going to be okay. And well, that's not really what happens because they're not really established as edge runners yet. They're wannabes at this point. For those who aren't aware, an edge runner is someone who runs on the edge, an adventurer, a gun for hire, a mercenary, hacker, something in this post-apocalyptic cyberpunk world. And this is what they want to be. And as we set up the world and as we're going into, they're trying to get this job and deal with the fact that they are kind of screw ups. They're not really as good as what they are. And more importantly, you have their issues. You have Rebecca, who doesn't want to be an edge runner, but she's being it because of the family legacy, but she's also a ticking time bomb. She gets pissed off really quickly and she's constantly sabotaging their efforts unintentionally, either because someone insults her, someone is rude to her, she gets upset because someone's going to hurt someone else, and just horrible things happen. Or there's a cute dog in danger. And meanwhile, Pilar, he is someone who wants to be the big edge runner. He's got a huge ego and he's kind of a douchebag. He's a pervert and he spends their money on kind of bad things. So they're not really the best siblings ever, but they try. And so after this incident at the cafe where they're against a street gang known as the Animals, pretty much people who don't have any cyborg parts for the most part, they're just inserted with genetics, genes. They've gene alter themselves as opposed to putting cybernetics in their body after they kick their ass and get some cool weapons, including the Rebecca's infamous shotgun. Well, at this point, we find out what they need to do because they missed their deadline by 10 minutes. And Wakako's like, "Yeah, you missed it. Sorry, I gave it to someone else. You guys, your dad didn't take care of you. I would have gotten rid of you a while ago." But because Rebecca is the way she is, she gets an idea. They're going to go after the people who are sign up for the assignment, kill them, and then take the assignment for themselves. And, well, hilarity ensues because that's what happens. And the job is very simple. They have to find a guy who is mysterious and doesn't know who he is because stuff with Arasaka, because Arasaka's involved, and hilarity ensues, or violence. And pretty much that's the sum of it. And I have not described anything about this story because it is cyberpunk and it is fucking crazy. Sorry for my language, but and gotta love some of the scenes that are very much a reminiscent to things like Akira. And what can I say about this crazy series? But it is, well, it's nuts. It is truly nuts. It is cyberpunk to a T. It is that awesomeness between substance over style over substance, violence over everything, and you're gonna burn out as quick as you can. And that's what the series is about. It's about Rebecca and Pilar and just giving you more of their hijinks. Because if you've watched Edgerunners, you know that those two are they're the odd couple, brother and sister, who hate each other but love each other. The fact that Rebecca wants to kill Pilar, she says, "I'm the one who's going to kill you." We're not there yet. We're getting there, but it's that mixed with the standard sibling dynamic of younger sister, older brother, and that whole dynamic between them in this cyberpunk setting. You also have the situation of what's going on with the mysterious man, which I'm not going to spoil anything because there's a lot going on. So, besides the style over substance, what is going on in this manga? Well, a lot. And the art is dynamic. It fits so well in this world. It looks just like the Studio Trigger artwork, just a little simpler. You get bios with the characters. The design is great. And let's be honest, it's ultra violent. It is super ultra violent. And I love that about this. And it's with Rebecca, who is arguably one of the most popular characters in the series, between her and Lucy. David's an interesting character, but let's be honest, we're here for Rebecca and we're here for Lucy in the series. So besides the characters, they're well done. You have a couple of new characters introduced, but you have a lot of old characters and a lot of references to the RPG and the TV series and the video game, which if you play them or you are aware of them, you're going to totally get a lot of fun with it because it's organic. It feels like it is part of the world. It's not a, hey, look at that. Remember bury this? Remember bury that? No, this is just, it's in the world and it fits. I mean, you have guys who are treating people like shit in the background. You have horrible things in the foreground, and you gotta love it. Now, if you are not a fan of Cyberpunk, or you've never read the series, played the video games, played the TTRPG, or you don't know anything about this, just looking for an interesting cyber story, you might find it interesting, but you'll be really confused because a lot is going on. A lot of weird words are used, like preem, chrome, flatline, all the lovely street slang that the denizens of Night City use are in this in full display, so you may be a little confused. Also, if you're looking for a wonderful story which has a great narrative, well, it's got an interesting story, but let's be honest, there's no stakes to it because we know what happens to them. If you've watched Cyberpunk Edgerunner, you know how their stories go. And I'm not going to say anymore because if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. It is a great series. Just be aware you're going to need a lot of tissues. Series is, as with anything in Cyberpunk, it's not how you live, it's how you die. But suffice to say, let's actually get to it. So, what are my thoughts about this awesome series? The series, which is truly cool and great. Well, honestly, I was thinking about it for a while, I was hemming and hawing, but it is going to be a bar from a friend and don't return unless offer Pocky, our second highest rating. It is an awesome prequel to the series, which sets up so many things and sets up a lot of the connections. More importantly, we get more Rebecca and Pilar. The artwork is totally preem. It looks great. The characters, if they'll leave off the page, it is very dynamic. There's a lot of action sequences. And also, you have some great designs for the various different factions. It is a simple story. It's just a brother and sister trying to rise up in the ranks in crime. Nothing crazy about that. And let's see that. It's all for Rebecca fans. You're going to love it. And it's going to be Rebecca for the win. Now, the couple of cons, I would say. One, it is super hyper violent, which I'm fine with, but if you're squeamish, you are not going to like this. People's heads getting blown off, faces getting ripped off, a person getting decapitated by a fork. Yeah, things like that. And it's low stakes. We know what's going to happen. Anytime they're in danger, we're like, okay, this is an else world, so we know they're going to survive. So, yeah. kind of that. Now, the tropes are going to be cyberpunk, totally. The siblings who are working together, and the deadly amnesiac, which that is a pretty big trope. And those are the tropes, and that is my thoughts about this, because I really do enjoy it. It is well done. Just, it's not for everybody. And now, if you've read Cyberpunk or you disagree or agree with me, let me know. Email me, zansparkin.com, tweet me at Sparkin. What are your thoughts? Are you interested in checking out the prequel story of Rebecca, or are you going to skip it and just watch the season 2, which is coming out soon? Let me know. And before I go any further, just want to let you know that also, if you're watching the book reviews, I am going to be doing Cyberpunk 2077, No Coincidence, this week. Not going to lie, I recorded that a couple of months ago because, well, yeah, a little ahead in all my stuff. But this is kind of a shock for me to get this one and spin it because I didn't expect to. So yeah, kind of cool. Same week I'm doing both of them, but for that, check it out. That's going to be on Monday, I believe the 16th. So anyway, let's get to the other part which you enjoy, which is the manga releases for the week. We've got some fun ones that are really cool. So first off, starting, we've got Witch Hat Atelier number 14. And this one is a pretty cool one. Then we've got Undead Unluck Volume 24. Trillion Games Volume 10. Tonight I Have a Date with a Serial Killer Volume 1. Tales of the Tendo Family Volume 7. Succumbus and Hitman Volume 10. Help Stand By Me. Soul Leveling Volume 15. Seduced by the Demon King Volume 4. Saving 80,000 gold in another world from my retirement Volume 14. Sakamoto Holidays Volume 1. Sakamoto Days Volume 21. Reanima Volume 4. Parasite Volume 4. Parallel Paradise Volume 25. Our Sunny Days Volume 1. Ninja vs. Gakudo Volume 12. My Cute Cousin Always Gets Her Way Volume 2. Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt Volume 25. Marriage of Convenience Volume 3, the light novel. Mega Luminary Magical Girls Volume 12. Reincarnated as an Ego Harem's Friend Volume 11. Magic Maker How to Create Magic in Another World Volume 1. Lazy Dungeon Master Volume 1. Kingdom Volume 5. Kimon Jihen Volume 20. Kaiju number 8 Volume 15. A Ninja and Assassin Under One Roof Volume 2. I'm in Love with the Older Girl Next Door Volume 4. I Got Married to the Girl I Hate Most in Class Light Novel Volume 2. Haikyuu Omnibus 22, 23, 24. Ghost in the Shell, The Human Algorithm, Volume 8. Frieren Beyond Journey's End, prequel, the novel. Fool's Night, Volume 6. Eternal Covenant, Volume 3. Dysfunctional Family Therapy, Volume 2. Dogs Red, Volume 5. Cross Play Love, Otaku Punk, Volume 14. This one's been getting a lot of buzz lately. I don't know why. Then we have The Condemned Villainous Goes Back in Time and Aims to Be an Ultimate Villain, Volume 7 of the light novel. Chainsmoker Cat, Volume 2. A Certain Scientific Railgun, Volume 20 of the light novel. The Broken Ring, This Marriage Will Fail Anyway, Volume 2. Apothecary Diaries, Volume 15. After the Disabled God of War Became My Concubine, Volume 2. After God, Volume 9. And last, certainly not least, we've got The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You, Volume 17. So these are the manga releases for the week. We've got some fun ones, we've got some sad ones, and we've got a couple of weird ones. But for me personally, my top 5 for this week are going to be The Apothecary Diaries, Volume 15. I'm waiting for this one for a little bit. Magic Maker, Volume 1, the light novel. Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt 25. My pick of the week is going to be Sakamoto Holidays, Volume 1. And then last but not least, we've got Today I Have a Date with a Serial Killer, Volume 1. So which of these are you most excited about? Do you agree with me that Sakamoto Days is the most exciting thing this week? Or are you excited for something else? Let me know. Email me at zansparkin.com or tweet me at Sparkin. And with that in mind, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who are checking out this podcast. Every email I get, every new subscriber, every new comment gives you more motivation to keep doing this. I love doing this. I want to keep doing it so an old man has to read manga with the glasses. So thank you so much for allowing me to do this. I appreciate each and every one of you. You're all awesome. And if you are watching on YouTube, as always, remember to like, share, subscribe, and always click on that bell for notification for these new episodes. And with that in mind, let's get to some last minute stuff. Besides that, if you want, go to applepodcast.com, look at Spiraken, and let me know if you like this show or didn't. Let me know in the ratings review. Put some ratings down. Let me know if you really enjoy this. The higher up it goes, the more viewers and subscribers I get. Also, I'm currently at 400 subscribers. Let's see if we can get 500 in a little bit. Excuse me. Didn't mean to sneeze there. Trying not to, but is what it is. So anyway, with that in mind, let's actually get to it because it's the part that you've all been waiting for and the most popular part of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only. The Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. What I've done is I've assigned manga title to each 10 slots. So we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is the one I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 622. We've got some great titles on here, some weird titles, and a couple of pervy titles. But let's spin through. We're going to review the next episode, shall we? Number 2. So in the next episode, I'm going to be reviewing a manga about someone's bias. Well, not their bias, because this is obviously a J-pop group. It's going to be their I believe it's their actually I don't know what the word is besides the bias. I usually use bias for everything, but their stan, the person they love the most. We're talking about Timon's B-side. Now, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Well, let's find out. I did like Yakuza bias, so this one might be good or it might be crazy. We're going to find out. But anyway, as usual, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzville. I'll catch you guys next time. And as always, keep reading manga. I will see you later.